Hello, this is TraVisT. Today I'm going to actually do something a little bit different. I just want to share with you a little demo that I kind of just started not too long ago. For a very long time now, I'm not going to lie, but my dream has been a very big cock blocker in my life because I've always had this vision. I had this very clear vision of what I wanted to do, and that was actually to, produce music and make a viable living out of it. That's the biggest dream in my mind that I've had, but reality makes it very tough because either it's the eye strain that causes me problems or the demonic problems that I've been having with using the computer. But I've learned something that in the past I've changed, and I think I've developed as an artist. I've learned to articulate a lot better in terms of displaying certain emotions across, but I've kind of learned that in the past my music has been very, very destructive. And I've learned that, since I do have bipolar disorder, I'm very prone to getting very self-involved in the emotions that I feel, such as fearless, which is a lot more broken. So a lot of these feelings of evangelistic views that I've kind of felt personally, or these very demonic and dark type of energies that I've felt, often made it very difficult to cope and perform. And I've learned that it's just better for me to act a certain way, act something that I'm not, rather than try to act something that I feel so close to, because it makes it very hard to keep pushing forward, because a lot of those energies really wear me out, and I haven't got used to being able to isolate some of these behaviors to actually control the emotions that I have without it either A, causing me to be bitter, or super high where I get too stimulated. So I thought I'd try something new. I've been working on this beat. I wanted to create some sort of fight song, a very inspirational fight song that really elicits a lot of power, a lot of strength, a lot of, gives it that extra oomph, that extra motivational song that I've always wanted to do. I've actually drew a lot of inspiration from Eminem's "Just Lose It," or "Just Lose Yourself," because I tried to took a similar beat but used a different chord, I used some different syncopation than Eminem's "Lose It Yourself." But I thought I'd just share it with you. I think I've gotten a little bit better in learning how to actually flow some of my raps. I haven't particularly spent a lot of time on it because of the fact that I'm having a very hard time trying to deal with, juggling my passions with my, with reality. So I end up forgetting my passions, but in the end I want to get pretty hissy and moany. It's because I want to go back to something that I really care about, which is my music. So I imagine that this piece to be a very powerful piece, something that I feel that, this vision that I have of clarity is like I want some guy that maybe was on the verge of committing suicide or has some suicidal ideations, which I personally had. I hung up a rope in 2009, where he suddenly has a new revelation in life, a new inspiration to continue to strive, to keep pushing forward. This piece, though it kind of draws some ties to me, it's not that related to me, because I talk about chicks, I talk about money, I talk about living in big houses. I really don't give a shit. I just want to express who I am, or express a story. I want to be a storyteller rather than trying to totally involve myself in my emotions, where it can totally take things out of control and out of proportion, where I'm unable to go back to it. So, I've imagined this to be a very type of. I got inspiration because there's this billboard sign that said "cage fight," and I got really inspired by how can I make it a motivational song about a cage fighter who maybe is on the brink of destruction, to finally getting a new inspiration in his life, to totally self-training himself, to get very physically fit, to dream big, to aspire to something big, to really think that, in spite of all the difficulties that he has become, or what people disable him to be, he is able to take control of it and, be something more than he'd ever dream he'd ever be. So, anyways, here it is. I just don't want to take too much time, but I think it's just a really cool beat that I developed, and the flow is just, I always thought that the flow had to follow certain syncopations on a beat, but in reality, you can feel good beats. You can feel very good raps, and I think this one is a really good hitter. So, you know, as my dream to aspire to songwrite, compose, to rap, I feel that I'm on a good pace here. It's just, you know, I got to expose myself somehow, because primarily I don't think, if I got to make sure this is the only way I feel that I can, if this is the only way that I feel that I can move on with my life, you know, like I said, music has been the biggest cockblocker in my life, so I feel I haven't achieved what I really wanted to do, which is just to compose music and to make a viable living off of it. And I stretched in that, so, you know, here it goes. I haven't really titled this one, but, you know, I don't know. I'll think about it later, but anyways, here it goes. I gotta read some of the lyrics. I don't have them all down, but let me clear my throat a bit. So, you know, like I said, I want this to be a movie about some guy that, you know, has some struggles and trained his body and his mind to become a very powerful type of man, or a very powerful type of identity that I wanted to kind of describe it as. I'm very passionate about music, so I hope that it kind of shows here. Reality breaks you, your mentality limits you, but your vision speaks truth of how you want to live. So in order to be you on who you want to be, you must let your dreams come true. You put your fist in the air and you pump them like you just don't care. But beware of the snare when he got you with no fair. Mr. Wiz, get the gist, or you might as well get this. Little sis, don't get hit in the kiss or with the gist. You don't want to stop them down. Rockin' the bow, but don't you fuck around. Tear them all, be profound. Haters come through echo walls. Listen deep, take a leap over those that make you weak. Shuffling feet, it's so sweet. Crown you chief of all your dreams. You must follow G to buy your self-esteem. Get yourself ripped and lean, up to speed. Prove to everyone you got great genes. You was obscene and a little mean, neglecting, but you change and have redeemed. You got a Benz in pristine, $1 million living in green, fame in ya and blinging the scene. A lot of sexy fiends waiting to take you in, cause you achieve a life to live your dream. And that's it. I'll try to go back to the other part. I wrote another part. Challenge strains bring you pain, so much blood it oozes out your veins. Failing brain, turning lame, can't maintain from keeping not insane. Hold on, wait, selfless bitch, I admit. Go ahead, man, try to stop yourself from loving it. You're too cursed, always first, stuck to nurse and fundamentally rehearse all them goddamn verses down your purse. Whether it is for bad or for worse, use the light when in flight. Don't dare back from any flight. Hear the crowd, join out loud, even if they cast you out. Make them feel that you're real, let's be real, face it. Don't conceal, that's the deal. You can't win love when you feel hurt. You're above, you can't win them if you don't listen, friend. Appreciate, don't wait to delineate all that hate. Not for them, but feel what's inside of your head. Alright, some of that, I'm going to have to fix some of that later lyrics, but anyways, take care, folks. TraVisT signing off.